The reason why my wife and I thought we definitely needed some extra insulation in our property was the fact that essentially the property was made in 1906 with no cavity walls, so no option for cavity wall insulation. Having spent at least 2 cold winters in the property, we knew how cold things get, especially in the small corner room at the side of the house, which has 2 external walls. We actually have a baby due this winter, so we were very much concerned about the temperature in that room. So really there were no other options for us given the state of the walls other than AeroTherm. Obviously we'd looked at external insulation and internal cladding, but these take up much valuable space, so it really does reduce the internal dimensions of the room, or it's very costly. This was a much more cost-effective approach for us. We found the installation process to be very easy, very simple. The AeroTherm installer was very accommodating. We actually had already prepared the surface in the small nursery. We removed the paper, so it was simply a case of him coming along, applying a base coat, and then after a short while the AeroTherm went on top of that. I should also add that the AeroTherm team worked very nicely around us and accommodated us to our own timescale to fit everything in. We did have a lot of extra furniture, which they were very, very careful to work around. He then proceeded to sand it down to a nice even surface, which actually was a much nicer surface than the original wall below the AeroTherm. In the nursery, certainly it has made a massive difference. I've already done some of my own sort of little experiments by closing the door, putting the heating on, and what we have noticed is the room does tend to heat up very, very quickly and more evenly, and once the heating has gone off, it does retain the heat to a much greater extent than it had done before. And one thing that we've also noticed is our property is actually south-facing. So the sun coming through the window on a sort of relatively cold day outside also contributes to keeping the room warm as well. Overall, extremely satisfied. We've been so impressed with it that we've actually had some more of the product applied to an external wall in the master bedroom of the property. So we're very much looking forward to winter now to really reap the benefits of having AeroTherm installed.